All right. So let's go ahead and do this review. It names a location that has no size. It is a point. We got a picture right here. And notation. No thickness and extends forever. Okay, that's a line. And again, we have these terms at the bottom here. So here's an example. And then our notation will look like that. Part of a line that has an endpoint and goes in one direction, we got to know that's a ray, okay? Okay, part of a line, that's a segment, line segment. And then a figure formed by two rays with the common endpoint. These are opposite rays. Oh, nope, those are not opposite rays. That's an angle. Opposite rays would work, but anyways, makes an angle. So angle ABC. All right. Okay, so we got to know that parallel, when two lines do not intersect, they have the same slope. When two lines intersect at 90 degrees, that's very important. They don't just intersect, they make a right angle. Okay, an angled bisector is a line, segment, or ray that divides an angle in half. Segment bisector is a line, segment, or ray that divides a segment in half. And remember, half means two equal parts. All right, collinear, two or more lines on the same line. Two or more points, sorry. Two or more points. I'm not going to go back and edit this. It's all right. Two or more points on the same line. And coplanar, points on the same plane. And you know what? We'll just leave it like this. Points on the same line, points on the same plane. All right, so we need to measure 22 with a protractor. Okay. I will remind you how to do that. And then we're going to classify it. So let's take a look at BEH. Okay, so BEH from B to E to H. Now I'm going to make BEH longer with my pencil. Okay. And I'm going to center it right there. I'm going to look at where does BEH cross? BEH, this is obtuse looking, so I got to make sure I use the bigger numbers. It's a 142-ish. Okay. If you get somewhere near that ballpark, you're good. Okay. Obtuse. And then we're going to measure ADE. And then measuring ADE, so ADE, so I'm going to line it up. Okay, another way you could do it is like this. ADE is obtuse, so I'm going to use the bigger numbers, which are this way is on the inside, ADE. So that's about 127, and it's still obtuse. And then we're going to measure IEG. Now you can see IEG is the supplement of BEH that we already measured earlier, but we'll measure it anyways to get the precise measurement. It's acute, so it's about 32. Double check. Sorry, not 32, it's about 38 degrees. That's acute. Alright, so now it's asking us about angles, which is supplementary to HGI. So HGI is here. What other angle will be supplementary that would make 180? So HGI is here. We could pick this angle that would make a straight line, which should be angle DGH. Then it asks us for the complementary angle to DEG. DEG is right here. Complementary means 90, so here's 90 right here. So this would be angle GEI. Okay, so that stuff you do got to measure by hand, and I will put it on here as well. What's the angle supplementary? So we got DGH, GEI. Alright, now solving for x, we got these two, and it makes a straight line of 180. So we've done this before. Part plus part equals whole. So 3x minus 10 plus 2x equals 180. Combine like terms, it gives me 5x. Bring down minus 10 equals 180. Get rid of the loner, plus 10. So 5x equals 190. Divide by 5, and I get 38, I believe. And the angle pair is a linear pair because it makes a straight line. Linear pair. Alright, and then down here, these are vertical angles because they're across from each other. You got to know these words, vertical angles. So if they're vertical, that means this is equal to this. We know they're equal, so 4x plus 10 equals 7x minus 5. When x is on both sides, we get rid of the smaller x. 7 minus 4 is 3. Now the loner's on the right side. We add 5. I get 15 equals 3x. Divide by 3. And I get 5. Okay. Let's go to the next page. Okay. Now you're just telling me, is it copying or bisecting a segment or an angle, okay, from the picture. So on 29, remember, whenever you're at this step, drawing this line straight down the middle, you're bisecting a segment. On 30, whenever you have arcs on both and you have that x right there, you are copying an angle. On 31, whenever you make that mark and come down here and mark it, that is copying a segment. And then 32, whenever you have making that x over here, you're cutting that angle in half. Boom. So that is called bisecting an angle. Okay, you got to know how to do that, or you got to know identifying those. Okay, so we're finding the midpoint, okay? So remember, when you're finding the midpoint, you're going to add up your x's, and then divide by 2. And then you're going to add up your y's, and divide by 2. Make sure you use parentheses, or make sure that you do controlled divide in your calculator so you have it separated into a fraction, okay? All right, let's do it again. Add our x's, divide by 2, add our y's, divide by 2, and then we get our midpoint, -2, -2. 36. Now, m is the midpoint. We're given a coordinate of a, which is an endpoint, and we're given m, the midpoint. So we have an end, we have a mid. So this is the one where I like to make my little diagram, okay? -2, 3, 1, 0. So this is adding 3. So I need to add 3 again. 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 down to 0 is -3. 0 minus 3 again is -3. So my endpoint equals 4, -3. And again, we're given an endpoint and a midpoint. So let's do it again. 2, -9 for my endpoint, 6, -4 for my midpoint. Let's find these differences. 2 up to 6 is +4, so we're going to add 4 again. We get 10. -9 up to -4 is adding 5, so we add 5 again, and we get 1. Find the length of the segment with endpoints. So remember, we're doing distance formula. So you should have distance formula in your notes, and you should be able to use that as you're doing the review. On the test, I'll give you the formula. So it's going to be x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared okay, so we get 8 for that. Alright, over here, distance x2 minus x1 plus y2 minus y1, make sure those are squared. Type it in the calculator, square root, parentheses, 1 minus negative sign 4, parentheses squared plus parentheses, -2 minus negative sign 5, parentheses squared. I got 5.83. Okay, and then 40. GF has an endpoint and a midpoint. So remember, end to middle, that means half. So you're going to take that answer and times it by 2. So my distance, x2 minus x1, -3 minus 4 squared plus 1 minus 2 squared, square root parentheses, -3 minus 4 parentheses squared plus parentheses, 1 minus 2 parentheses squared. So I got 7.07. So I'm going to do 7.07 times 2. And I get 14.14. Okay. Don't forget to multiply by 2. Last two, spherical geometry, the interior angles of a triangle add up to more than 180. So again, spherical, more than 180, true. Spherical geometry, parallel lines do not intersect, that's false. In spherical geometry, remember, you do have lines that are parallel, that do cross at the poles. Okay, that's the place where they intersect, even though they're parallel.